Good evening, everyone. This is Bremster, and tonight I am recording a puzzle called Nice Hot Cuppa by FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards. This was one of the puzzles that they sent me as an easy puzzle for me to do when I said that I was under some time pressure and didn't had a lot to record in a very limited period of time. And I have tried to record some higher puzzles when I've had the ability to do so and try and keep things flowing a bit normally, but tonight I have a very limited time window, so I pulled one of those out. I know I did one of these puzzles only a few days ago, but as I said, I'm trying to still keep content rolling, and when I said that I may have to bring puzzles from the same people a bit at the moment because they're the submissions I've got, the general feedback seemed to be didn't matter who the puzzles came from as long as they were good, and if setters did want me to cover other setters, it was up to them to submit. So yeah, I feel that way as well. If you do want me to cover a particular setter, reach out to that setter and suggest that they send something through to me. My submission guidelines are below and easy to find. So, yeah, Nice Hot Cuppa by FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards. So how does this puzzle work? We have normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. The lines are palindromes, which means they need to be read the same in either direction. So if this was a 1, a 2, and a 3, then in the other direction it would also have to be 1, 2, and 3, so that the line would read the same whichever way you read it from. And then there are these circles, which are quadruples. I normally reset puzzles to be cosmetic to have the higher visibility quadruples. You've seen those on my channel before if you've been watching for a while. If you're new, welcome. But this is a link provided by the setter, and I'm on a time pinch, so I didn't do that. So these are fine. These are the ones that most people use. It's all good. And what the quadruples clues mean is that the digits in the circle must be placed in the cells touching the circle. If there were less than 4, then you could say that the normal rules for quadruples is any digits in a circle must be placed in at least once in the 4 cells touching that circle. So that way you would know that if there was less than 4, but in this case we are being told exactly what the 4 digits in the 4 cells surround the circle are. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. I don't have a hot cuppa. I've got a cold one because it's cocktail hour. Let's give this a shot. So, how do I want to start this? I kind of want to start by combining the palindromes and the quads. Like, I could do the normal thing of saying, okay, so I know, yeah, I could do a trick with like 3 has to go in here and 3 has to go in here. So I can't put 3 in any of those cells, and that might do something. But because this is a combination of palindromes and quadruples, I'm going to come at this a different way. So for example, I'm going to start by looking at that cell, because this cell and this cell have to be the same digit. Now by the quadruple at the top, it has to be 4, 5, 8 or 9. But by the quadruple down here, where 5 and 8 have to be in these 4 cells, it can't be 5 or 8, because if it was 5 or 8, I could not be, if 5 or 8 was here, I would break this quadruple clue. So these can only be 4 or 9. And then I'm going to do the same here. By this quadruple clue, it has to be 3, 5, 7 or 8. But up here, it can't be 5 or 8 because that would break that clue. So this has to be 3 or 7. And can I do the same here? Not as effective. Oh, yes, I can actually. I was about to say I can't do it as effectively because things are being limited by this. I'm saying what can't be in those, but what I can do is say what it has to be because of that. So it has to be 3, 4, 6 or 8, but it can't be 3 because that would break that one. It can't be 4, that would break that one, and it can't be 8, that would break that one. Actually, it's most restricted. This has to be 6. So that's cool. So maybe I want to do the same on this palindrome. It has to be 3, 5, 7 or 8 to fulfill that, but it can't be 3 or 7. Because that would break this quadruple. So this is a 5, 8. Now I do the same here. Actually, this one's more restricted. So let's start up here. It has to be 4, 5, 8 or 9. But it can only be 5 or 8. Otherwise, I'm putting an invalid digit here. So it's not 4, 9. This is 5 or 8. And here, it has to be 1, 2, 5 or 8. But it can't be 5 or 8. This has to be 1 or 2. I'd hoped I would get something more out of that. Over here doesn't look as powerful because I don't have quadruples up here. Well, that's a 5-8 pair. So that can't be a 5-8. If I put a 5-8 there, I'd have too many 5-8s. So this has to be a 5-8. Because, yeah, if this, and therefore this becomes 4-9. So that's something. And this can't be 5-8, or I'd have too many. So this is 5-8, and this becomes 3-7. So that's cool. Does it do anything? Ah, right, it's these. Because these are the same. And from this, they have to be 1, 2, 3, 4 from this one. But over here, they can't be 1 or 2, or they break that quad. So these are actually a 3-4 pair. This becomes a 1-2. And these have to be only 5-6. I can't put an 8 there. This is 5. This is 5. This is 6. This 5 means that these are both 8, which means this is a 5, which means this is an 8. Now this 3-4 means these is 1-2, which means this is 1-2. This is a 3-4 pair, which means these are both 9, which means that is 4. Five has to be in here now because these are 1, 2, 5, basically. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 1, 2, 4. So this is a 1, 2, 4 triple. So that has to be the 5. And that's not the 5. And 4 has to be in there. So this is not the 4. In fact, I can't put a 1, 2 on this quad. That's the 4. That's not the 4. I've got a 1, 2 here. I've got to keep remembering to look at both the quads because this is now 4, 6. So this has to be 3, 8. And this has to be 3, 8 because those are the same digit. I'm not sure. Actually, I can do something on this because effectively this is a quad because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 4, 5, 6, and 9. So this is 4, 5, 6, and 9. But these can't be 5 because it sees that 5. This can't be 5. So 5 is in one of those two. These are 1, 2, 3, and 7. Not 6, 3 and 7. But I can't be 3 there. So 3 is looking down here. 3 is absolutely in here because there has to be a 3 in this quad, and this 3 is meaning it can't be down here, which means that's actually a 7, which mirrors to there, making that a 7, which makes that a 3. And 7 is now down here. There's no 7 here. That actually has to be the 3, which puts 3 down here somewhere. And because of these quads, the 3 has to be down here, because if I was to put a 3 here, then this would be a 4 and this would be a 4. So the 3 has to be down here. This 7 means this is not a 7. I could have done the same with that 7. And this is now also a quad. But more importantly, I can't put a 1 in those two, and I can't put a 3 in those two, so this becomes the 1, 3, and this becomes the 7, 9, and now this is just a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. So this is a 4, 5 pair. That 5 makes that 4 and that 5. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. This is not an 8. This 5 means this is not the 5, this is the 5, and 5 is down here somewhere. okay. I think I've got all of the quads down to their constituent values now, pretty much. So I'm now just dealing with Sudoku and palindromes. So where is the middle of this palindrome? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one in, next one in. So those two are the same and in the center. Well, this is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 9. So this is also 7 and 9. Giving me a 7, 9 pair. Oh, there's a 3, 4 looking up. That's a 1, that's a 3. That 1 makes that 2, which makes that 1 and that 2, which makes that 1. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 6. 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's a 6. Let's put 6 over here somewhere. Can that be a 6? That would put a 6 there. Yeah, it can. This 2 makes this 1, which means 1 is in here somewhere. This 1 makes this 2. Actually, this is a 1, 2 pair. Because I've got 1 and 2 already in these boxes, they have to go down here, and that's a 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in here. So this is not... when I push the wrong button, I always have to roll back and check. Hang on, I can't put 3, 4 and 9 in there. What am I missing? Yes, I can put 3, 4 and 9 in there, but there's no 4 in those. So this is the 9, this is the 3, this is the 4, this is the 3. The 4 looks over making this 3 and this 4, which is good because otherwise I'd end up with a problem on the palindrome. Actually, this 6, 7 means these are a 6, 7 pair. Which means these have to be 9 because these have to be the same. And if they were both 7, they'd have to both be 6. These are both 9. That's a 7, which means this is a 6 and this is a 7. That's a really nice palindrome trick. I like that trick. The puzzle I did a few days ago, which was the mirror maze, used a similar trick. This is not 6, so this is not 6. So 6 now has to be in one of those two, and that 6 tells me it's right there. In fact, this 9 looks over making that 4 now. This is a triple. 1, 2, well, actually, no, it's not. That 3 makes that 8, 3, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 go in there. 4 is in one of those two. That 4 tells me it's right there. Actually, I could have used the palindrome. So this is going to be a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. There's no 3 there. That gives me a 7, 9 pair. So this becomes the 3, which means that's not the 3. This is the 3. Actually, 3, 4, 6, 7, which means this is 6 and 7. That means there's no 6 in here. I'm probably not progressing fast enough because I'm trying to look for the most efficient way to do it. So let's look at this pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 and 4. So this has to be 2 or 4. Which makes this 1, this 2, this 1, this 2, which is matching on the palindrome. The 2 takes 2 out of those, so this becomes 8, 6, and 2, which means this 9 makes this 7, which this means this has to be a 1. These are 6 and 9, and this 6 gives me the order. That's the 9, and that's the 6. This is now 7 and 9. This is a pair now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8, which is not resolved. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. And that 9 tells me the order, 5 and 9. This is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've broken the puzzle. I see what I've done wrong. So I need to roll back until I put that pair in. Because that 2 before had to go there. And I probably did okay with the rest of it, but that was done wrong. And that was just bad palindrome placement. I don't remember what I did next, but let's... Okay, so let's look at this triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 5, and 8. So this is 1, 5, and 8. That's a lot less helpful. But at least I haven't made the mistake I made last time. Giving everyone an opportunity to scream at me. And if you think that people who are solving on camera are doing that to drive up engagement, you are 100% wrong. Yeah, we prefer not to make those mistakes. The thing is, it throws us out because now I've got no idea what I'm looking for. Okay, what about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Well, there's no 5 there. So 5 has to be down here. Well, there's no 6 in either of those. So that's a 5, 9 pair. So this becomes a 6, which means this is a 2, which means there's no 2 up here, which means this is 8 and a 6. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a 9, which means this is a 7, which means this is a 9 and this is a 7. This is a 1 or a 2. This 9 looks up making this 7 and this 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is definitely down here. It always throws you off. Like you just completely lose momentum. This makes this a 5 and this a 9. That 5 takes 5 out of there. Where does 4 go in this row? Can't go in either of those, and this 4 means it's not there. So this is the 4, which means this is the 4, and this is the 2. That makes this 1, 2, and 1, which looks up making this 2 and 1. That looks down meaning those are not 1. Now this has to be 1, 2, or 8, and that means it's not 2. So that's a 1, 8 pair. This becomes the 2, this becomes the 8. There's no 8 here. This is 1 or 8. This is 1, 5, or 8, and it can't be an 8 because of that. So they're a 1, 5 pair. So this has to be a 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7. And now I've got to resolve these, which I can do by palindrome, because that means this cannot be an 8 because that can't be an 8. So this is the 8, which makes this the 1, which makes this the 5, which makes this the 8. This now makes that the 5, and this becomes the 1, and that completes the puzzle. Nice Hot Cuppa by FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards. That was a lot of fun. I did make a mistake, but I still managed to pull it off in just over 15 minutes, and I was kind of taking my time. Didn't feel like I was rushing through that one at all. That was a nice, relaxing puzzle, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards for sending through another really nice puzzle. And as always, good luck with your solving.